Malaysia 2024 budget aims to grow the economy, improve public services, create jobs and support sustainable development. To grow the economy, the budget invests in key areas like manufacturing and technology. This investment will make businesses more productive, increase export and attract foreign investors, helping Malaysia stay competitive globally. The budget also focuses on better public services like healthcare, education and social welfare. More money will go to hospitals, schools and social programs to ensure everyone has access to quality services. Additionally, the budget plans to create more jobs by offering incentive to businesses to hire more workers, reducing unemployment. Lastly, the budget promotes the sustainable development by investing in green technologies and eco-friendly infrastructure, helping Malaysia build a greener and stronger economy.
The significance of national budget. The national budget is not just a financial statement but a powerful tool for economic management, resource allocation, transparency, policy implementation and maintaining stability. Let's delve into each of these aspects with some examples. So one of the primary roles of a national budget is to manage the economy. This includes controlling inflation, managing public debt and stimulating economic growth. For example, during time of high inflation, the government might reduce public spending or increase taxes to reduce the amount of money circulating in the economy, thus helping to control inflation. Conversely, during a recession, the government might increase spending or cut taxes to stimulate economic activity. Consider the economic stimulus package introduced by the various countries during the COVID-19 pandemic. This package will aim at stimulating economic growth by providing financial assistance to business and individuals, thereby boosting spending and economic activity. Another critical function of the national budget is the allocation of resources. This ensures that essential services such as healthcare, education, and infrastructure receive adequate funding. For instance, in Malaysia, the national budget often prioritizes sectors such as education and healthcare. In 2023 budget, significant funds were allocated to improve school facilities, hire more teachers, and enhance healthcare services. This prioritization ensures that the nation's needs are met effectively. National budget also play a crucial role in promoting transparency by making budget details available to the public. Government enables citizens to scrutinize how public funds are being used, thereby fighting corruption. For example, many countries now publish the budget document online, allowing the public to see how much is being spent on different sectors and projects. This transparency helps to hold governments accountable and ensure that the funds are used appropriately. The national budget is essential for translating policy into action. It is allocated to necessary funds to support various development goals and policy initiatives. Take the example of environmental policy. If a government has a policy to reduce carbon emissions, the budget might allocate funds for renewable energy projects, subsidies for electric vehicles, and programs to promote energy efficiency. By providing the financial resources needed, the budget ensures that these policies can be effectively implemented. The national budget is vital for maintaining economic stability. By balancing spending and revenues, the government can smooth economic cycles and prevent large deficit that can lead to financial crisis. For instance, during period of economic growth, the government might run a surplus, saving money for future downturns. During economic downturn, it can use this saving to support the economy without having to borrow excessively. This approach can help to maintain long-term economic stability. The various source of government revenue. Understanding this source is crucial for comprehending how a government fund and its activity and services. Tax revenue. Tax revenue is a major source of government income, and it is divided into direct and indirect tax. Direct tax revenue, this includes income tax, estate duty, stamp duty. In Malaysia, income tax is a significant component. For instance, individual income tax rate in Malaysia range from 0% to 30% based on income levels. The government also collects corporate income tax, which is vital for funding public service. Indirect tax revenue, this comprises goods and service tax, GST, export duties and import duty, and more. Although Malaysia replaced GST with the sales and service tax, which is SST in 2018, indirect tax remains a substantial revenue source. For example, import duty on goods coming into Malaysia help protect local industry and generate revenue. Second, non-tax revenue come from various sources other than taxes: license, registration fee, and permit. This include fee collecting for issuing business license, vehicle registration, and other permit. In Malaysia, business pay for license to operate, which contribute to non-tax revenue. Service fee, the government charge fee for various services such as passport insurance and public healthcare. This fee for issuing a Malaysian passport is a source of non-tax revenue. Proceed from sale of goods, this include income from government-owned enterprise for the sales of government asset. For example, Petronas, Malaysia's state-owned oil and gas company, contributes significant to non-tax revenue through its operation and sales. Interest and proceeds from investment. The government earns interest its investment and loans in Malaysia, invest in various financial instruments generating interest income. Fines and penalty. These are collected from traffic violation, environmental fines, and other legal penalties. For instance, traffic fine collected by the Royal Malaysian Police contribute to non-tax revenue. Non-revenue receipts include refund and credit that do not directly come from tax or non-tax sources. Refund for expenditure. Occasionally, the government receives refund for expenditure such as overpaid tax or unused allocation. Interdepartmental credit. These are internal financial adjustment between government departments. For example, if one department provides service to another, it may receive interdepartmental credit. Revenue from the federal territories include both tax, non-tax revenue from Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya, and Labuan. Tax revenue. This consists of income tax, property tax, and other local taxes collected within the federal territories. For instance, property tax from real estate in Kuala Lumpur contribute to federal revenue. Non-tax revenue. This include receipt from license and permit, premium queen, rent, sales of assets, rental, services fee, and entertainment duties. For example, entertainment duty collected from event in Kuala Lumpur add to the revenue. The government also earns from the sale and lease of land and properties in these territories.
Allocation of fine. Operational expenditure. The first one is salary for civil servant. A significant portion of the budget is dedicated to paying the salaries and benefits of government employees. This ensures the smooth functioning of government departments and public services. The second one is subsidies. Malaysia allocates substantial funds to subsidy to keep the cost of essential goods and services like fuel and food affordable for its citizens. For example, in the 2024 budget, the government allocated 52 billion ringgit for subsidies and social assistance. And the last one is maintenance of public facilities. Regular maintenance of infrastructure such as road, school, hospitals, and public buildings is also covered under operational expenditure. Next, development expenditure. The first one is infrastructure projects. Large sums allocated to build and upgrade roads, bridges, railways, and public transportation system. For instance, the 2024 budget included significant investment in public transport projects like the Rapid Transit System RTS and the Pan Borneo Highway. The next one is education. Development funds are used to build new schools, upgrade existing ones, and improve educational facilities. This includes investment in digital infrastructure to support e-learning initiative. Another one is healthcare. Allocation are made for constructing new hospital, upgrading existing facilities, and purchasing advanced medical equipment. In recent years, there has been a focus on enhancing healthcare infrastructure to cope with public health challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic. And the last one is technology. Funds are invested in technology and innovation to boost the country's digital economy. This includes initiatives like the National Fiberization and Connectivity Plan (NFCP), aimed at improving internet connectivity in nationwide. The last one is sectoral allocation. The first one is education. The Malaysian government has consistently prioritized education, allocating funds for building new schools, upgrading existing facilities, and providing scholarships. For instance, in the 2023 budget, 55.6 billion ringgit was allocated to the Ministry of Education. The second one is healthcare. The healthcare sector received substantial funding to improve hospital infrastructure, provide free or subsidized medical care, and enhance public health initiative. The 2024 budget included 36.3 billion ringgit for the Ministry of Health to improve the healthcare services and facilities. The third one is defense. Defense spending is crucial for maintaining the national security. This includes funding for the armed forces, purchasing defense equipment, and maintaining military facilities. In the 2024 budget, there are 17.4 billion ringgit was allocated for defense to enhance the nation's security capabilities. And the last one is social welfare. Social welfare programs are designed to support vulnerable populations, including the poor, elderly, and disabled. This program provides financial assistance, housing supports, and healthcare subsidies. For example, the 2024 budget included 10 billion ringgit for social welfare initiative aimed at alleviating poverty and supporting the underprivileged.
The challenge faced by the Malaysian government in 2024 budget. This challenge requires a balanced approach to fiscal policy, ensuring that the government spending and revenue generation align with the economic goals and social priorities. The first challenge is to implement effective demand management policies. Timing and calibration, coordinating monetary, interest rate, and fiscal government spending policies require precise timing and careful calibration. If interest rates are raised too aggressive to curb inflation, it could potentially stifle economic growth. Impact on economic growth, balancing the dual objective of controlling inflation while supporting economic growth poses a challenge. Overly tight monetary policies can dampen consumer spending and investment, affecting overall economy activity. Second, burden revenue mobilization, public backlash and compliance. Introducing new taxes or increasing existing one often face resistance from the public and business. Past experience, such as the introduction of the Goods and Services Tax (GST), highlight the importance of effectively communicating the rationale behind the reforms to gain public acceptance and compliance. Economic impact, tax reform must be carefully designed to avoid disproportionately burdening certain sectors of income groups, which could adversely affect consumption patterns and economic activity. Third, prudent financing of the budget deficit. Financial discipline, balancing government spending with the revenue generation requires strict financial discipline. Excessive reliance on borrowing to finance deficit can lead to higher debt servicing costs and fiscal vulnerabilities. Resource allocation. Efficient allocation of resource is crucial amidst varying economic conditions. Prioritizing spending on productive investment while reducing inefficiency in public expenditure is essential for long-term fiscal sustainability. The fourth challenge is protect social sector spending. Sustainable funding, maintaining social welfare program during subsidiary reduction and inflationary pressure demands sustainable funding sources. Ensuring adequate resource of program like cash transfer and healthcare subsidies requires careful budget planning and revenue diversification. Targeted assistance, designing targeted assistance mechanism to protect vulnerable groups from the adverse impact of the economic reform is challenging. Ensure implementation and monitoring are crucial to ensure that benefit reach those in the lastly of the challenge. Address geopolitical tension and economic headwinds. Diplomatic efforts navigating geopolitical tension and international trade agreements demand robust diplomatic efforts. Maintaining stable relations with key trading partners and resolving dispute diplomatically are essential for safeguarding Malaysia's economic interests. Policy alignment, ensuring domestic policies align with the international trade agreement, such as comprehensive and progressive agreement for the Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTPP), require legislative adjustment and regulatory reform. Harmonizing domestic regulation with international standard can enhance Malaysian attractive for foreign direct investment. Recommendations to restore macroeconomic stability. The government should implement effective demand management policy by adopting a combination of monetary and fiscal measures. For example, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, Malaysia implement various stimulus packages such as Prihatin Economic Stimulus Package that help stabilize the economy by supporting business and individuals during economic downturns. The government should broaden its tax base by introducing new taxes and increasing existing ones. This will help diversify revenue sources and reduce dependence on petroleum revenues. For example, the introduction of the Goods and Service Tax (GST) in 2015 helped broaden the tax base and increase government revenue, although it was later replaced by the Sales and Service Tax (SST). By considering new taxes such as a capital gains tax and raising the service tax rates, the government can ensure a more stable and diversified revenue stream. Third, to address the budget deficit, the government needs to balance its spending with revenue generation through prudent financial management and efficient allocation of resources. For example, the Malaysian government could look at a successful model like Singapore, where carefully planning and fiscal discipline have resulted in strong fiscal position and manageable budget deficit. By ensuring that spending is matched by adequate revenue generation, Malaysia can work towards reducing its budget deficit, projected to be 4.3% of GDP in 2024. Protect social sector spending. It is crucial to continue supporting vulnerable population through targeted cash handout and social welfare program. Protecting social sector spending will help mitigate the financial impact of subsidy reduction and inflationary pressure on low and middle income households. The Bantuan Prihatin Nasional BPN Cash Aid program provided financing assistance to lower income groups during the COVID-19 pandemic, helping to alleviate economic hardship. Maintaining and enhancing such social welfare program will ensure that the most vulnerable population receive necessary support. Lastly, address geopolitical tension and economic headwinds. To encounter the challenge posed by the geopolitical tension and economic headwinds, the government should promote foreign direct investment environment. For example, Malaysia participation in the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTPP) enhance its trade relation and attract foreign investment, contributing to economic growth and stability.
In conclusion, Malaysia's 2024 national budget stands as a critical instrument for steering the country towards economic recovery, social enhancement and sustainable development in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. By focusing on strategic investment in manufacturing, technology, public services and green infrastructure, the budget aims to stimulate economic economic growth, create jobs, and improve the quality of life for all Malaysians. Dissipate facing challenges such as restoring macroeconomic stability, mobilizing revenue, managing the budget deficit, protecting social spending, and addressing geopolitical and economic uncertainties. The budget's comprehensive approach seeks to balance fiscal responsibility and the needs for development and social welfare. Through prudent financial management and targeted policies, Malaysians strive to build a resilient and prosperous future, ensuring that economic benefits are broadly shared across the population.